What is up, YouTube? My name is Zach, and we are back with another episode of Summoner's War. In this episode, we are going to be going over the uses and stuff of Rage and Fatal Runes. Um, I'm combining these two into one video just because Fatal Runes in the late game don't really serve a lot of use. But first, as customs, we've got a little bit of summoning to do. Um, I just cleared TOA yesterday, second day after reset, and I also, from all of that, I got a lot of crystals, so I just went and bought a premium pack, and let's see what we can get with that. I could do exclusive summons, but I really, I really want to wait until we've got the Camila Leica um, one in 3 weeks. So, yeah, summon. Let's hope we can get something good. We've got a legendary scroll, so got some Chloe food there. No lightning yet. This isn't. Oh, here we go. It's a water nine tails. Okay, I mean that's good, but I'm not gonna raise it. I need fodder right now because I am. Oh yes, I'm doing the fusion for Katarina, so I actually needed a Water Grim Reaper, so that is amazing because I'm missing the Bearman and the Wind Amazon. But otherwise, I've got all of the fusion materials now. So, and it's actually water dungeon day. So if I want to spam for a Bearman dungeon, whatever, I guess I'll do that. I hate spamming for secret dungeons, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Um, but okay, light and darkness, lightning. Can I get a werewolf? Freaking crap! An awakened warbear. That's disgusting. Okay, legendary, come through for me. That's a 4-star. Period. Well, can't win them every time. I've gotten a ton of 5-stars lately. But to the runes. I guess we'll start off with Fatal, just because there's not much to say about them. Fatal runes, you don't really run them unless you're in early game. There's one monster that runs Fatal runes that I can think of in late game, but everything else is usually run Rage. I actually have my Julie right now, Fatal Blade, because Julie is my farming monster. She farms Phymon for me, and I occasionally use her in Guild Wars too. But look at that attack. She's got 2,900 attack, so that's pretty good. Um, but yeah, what I'm trying to get across here is in late game arena and guild wars, you're not going to want to use fatal runes for almost anything except there is one exception, and that is, let me find it. This guy, Malacca. Malacca has this time bomb thing, and it gauges off of your attack power. So Fatal is actually the best for this, to make Malacca's bombs as potent as possible. I think the Wind one has a skill like that too. Yeah. So the Wind one would use Fatal Runes too, but I don't think Gibraltar, the Fire one, actually has the Time Bomb. No, yeah, he doesn't. So, those are two monsters you would use Fatal in late game, I guess. You don't really use Bombers late game, but TOA, Yeah, bombers are pretty much the only thing that use fatal runes. So once again, I just thought of another thing because it's a bomber, but Jojo. Jojo would use fatal runes because he's got this surprise bomb thing here. So, um, on to rage runes. Rage runes are your ideal runes for like one turn nukers. And by one turn nukers, it's like you want to get one super powerful attack in. You don't really care about it surviving, you just want it to kill something. And the things that fall into that category is the thing that I'm trying to fuse right now, this Katarina, um, with Sword of Discharge. If he's invincible, which Chloe can do that for you, um, the defense is ignored for the enemy. He attacks 3 random enemies. If you get a crit and you have very, very high crit damage, this is actually going to end up being more profitable for you when you hit it. So that's why people run Rage. Let me see if I can find something that. I know in my last video, my Seek was violent, but I've since then moved some runes around, so my Monkey King is now Violent Revenge. Um, so I put Seek as Rage Blade. Even with all of these runes not maxed out, this thing can still hit 9k per damage per hit um, with a crit with his double bite attack. And imagine what happens when I get these things maxed out. Like, this thing could probably hit 12k per hit. Like, seriously. That's kind of insane, and that's why you use rage runes, because rage runes give you a 40% boost to crit damage, and with fatal you only get a I think they just boosted it to 35. Yeah, 35. So they did fatal did get a little bit of a buff, but rage is still better um, when you can get your crit rate up. So they say that anything over 45% is worth using rage runes. I actually didn't get that with Seek, but I don't really care because we've got a crit buff built into our skills. Um, Lucian is something that's always built Rage Blade. Like, you people are just like, hey, Lucian can be despair. No, Lucian can't be despair. You're wrong. Like, there's no way Lucian can be despair. Um, my Lucian is actually kind of weak. He's got these two things here, and I have never once found a 6-star crit damage rage rune. And it's really irritating because that would push my crit damage up to something that's actually good. Um, so Yeah, um, I think those are the only two monsters that I actually run Rage Blade. And uh, another thing, Blade is just a natural partner with Rage runes, just because um, you're increasing your crit damage, and then you want to increase your crit rate as well. So they just go hand in hand. So you're really rarely going to see something that's like Rage Focus. It's always going to be Rage Blade. You're barely going to see any exceptions to that rule. Um, Now let's go through some other monsters that can use it. Um, you might look at this and say, "Hey, this is a good attacker. He's got an AoE attack. He can do some really nice crit, but he actually runs Despair, and you don't want to run him Rageblade at all." So all of the sylphs are usually run Despair focus. So that's a thing. Now, Hua, you can run Rage Blade if you would like, um, for early to mid game. But once you get to late game, you're definitely gonna want to rune her Violent. Um, you see the very rare Despair set, but it's very rare. You don't want to see that. It's really dumb. You don't want to use Despair. Um, Jean. Jean is a very powerful one hit single target nuker. So he's got this passive that increases it basically doubles his attack power if he's above 50%. Now with this surprise visit ability and a seek buff, this thing can hit like 50k damage. Dead serious. It can one shot anything with a crit. So, Jean is something that runs Rage Blade very well. Um, let's see. I'm looking at a lot of things here, and most of them I see are you want to run them violent. But here, if you can ever get this, Rocky runs Rage Blade. Same with all of the Hell Ladies, really. They all run Rage Blade. Um, so, except maybe not Kraka. Kraka might run something else. But then again, Rage Blade is another pretty good candidate for it. I don't even know what the light one does. Oh yeah, that thing's running Rage Blade, without a doubt. Okay, let's move on to water monsters. Water monsters are usually not the best choice for Rage Blade, but I have found something that is. Rage Blade Vigor. Vigor is a really weird monster. There's a few monsters that run this type of set, but he runs Rage Blade, HP, crit damage, HP. I know it seems counterintuitive to max out HP, but Vigor, Escher, and Jolton. Escher and Jolton are the light and dark werewolves. They run this set because of their shred slash massacre abilities. They it just hits what this one hits 3 times, but I think Escher. Let's find Escher. I think Escher is a nat 4. Nope, it's a nat 3. 4 times in proportion to max HP. So um, if Escher is absolutely perfect for that, just because the HP just it increases the attack power. But Vigor also runs it just because this is very powerful. And yeah. Okay, let's try to find something else. Running Rage Blade. I mean, Julie probably should run Rage Blade if you're going late game, or Despair. Despair Focus, I guess. Um, if you want crowd control. Uh, Kaz. Most recent Hall of Heroes monster. You can either run this thing Rage Blade or Swift Blade. Because his third skill right here is it increases to according to attack speed. So Rage Blade is probably better if you can get the speed up high enough, and you can get your crit rate up high enough. Um, but I would generally say run Swift on this. So with attack, crit damage, attack. But that's just my personal preference. I think the thing's food personally, but a lot of people disagree with that. So yeah, you can run Camila Rageblade. She usually ends up being Violent Revenge. Um, but yeah, you can run her Rageblade. Um, Alicia, I run Mind Focus. Despair, but Alicia can definitely run Rageblade. I just went Despair because of the way my nuking team works. If Alicia fails to kill something, she can possibly stun them, so I can just kill them the next round. Um, on to win monsters. I need you, Hina. Um, I believe Copper runs Rageblade because of this. Um, because of this skill right here. I think he runs defense, crit damage, defense on Rageblade. So, yeah, this is another thing, instance of a single target nuker, but Copper actually doubles as a um, tank too. Unless you are facing a Lucian, then Copper isn't exactly the best thing for you. Um, Orochi can run Rage Blade, can run Swift Blade. It's another thing. It's completely up to you. Um, it just depends on what runes you have. You want his crit rate and accuracy to be as high as possible. Whether you want it to be, you want more attacks or you want stronger attacks, that's completely up to you. So Orochi can run Swift Blade or Rage Blade. Kato, same thing with all the samurais. You can run them Swift Blade or Rage Blade. I think with Kato, no, yeah, Kato and Kaz can run Swift Blade or Rage Blade, but June, the Fire Samurai, you definitely want Rage Blade. Because there's nothing on here that's in proportion to attack speed, and you just want June to be pure damage. That's why I think June is the best samurai. I don't like any of the samurais personally, but whatever. Julian, he's another monster that can run Rage Blade. Despair Focus is another thing he runs. It's just Julian can fill two very different roles, an attacker or a support stunner. So it just depends on what your team needs, I guess. And is there anything else in here that really runs Rageblade? I guess Wind Polar Queen can do that. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't run Rageblade on it. Oh, wow. Um, I forgot about the Phoenixes. Phoenix, Teshar, and Sigmaris. Definitely both very, very good Rageblade candidates. Teshar actually has the highest base attack out of any monster. So, with Rage Blade, you just need your attack runes and then your crit damage runes, and this thing will do absolutely ridiculous damage. So, if you're lucky enough to pull this thing, definitely run a Rage Blade. Now, I'm not too familiar with the light monsters. Um, Taru here. Um, he used to be better, but Taru probably runs Rage Blade, or something he might run something really 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 fast. Here, this has got a built-in 50% crit bonus. So like this thing is going to crit. I think it runs Rage Blade with speed attack and crit damage, maybe, or attack crit damage with speed substats. Either way, I always see these things really fast, but they should definitely run Rage Blade. Escher, we've already gone over. Prom, you could run this thing Rage Blade. It's a pretty powerful nuker. Um, but you can also run this thing crowd control with Despair Blade or Despair Focus, whatever. Um, I think this guy runs Despair. Does this guy have a time bomb? He does. So light Cobalt Bomber would also run Fatal Blade, actually. Ooh, another thing. Another thing I just skipped over. There's so many things I just don't even consider. Pirate captains. Most of them are going to run Rage Blade just because they're powerful. That's pretty much all I have to say. Um, I think you guys probably get the general idea of running Rage Blade. It's just something that you run um, if you want something to get a one-shot kill and don't care about extra turns or anything. So, um, yeah, I guess I'll finish this off with an arena match. I want to see if there's something I can. I'm just going to use 10 crystals to keep my buff. Why not? Um, that can't be nuked. That can't be nuked. I really want to use something that can do something that can be Rage Blade killed. That's kind of risky, but if we can't find anything better, we'll come back to that. Darian is always a hindrance to a Rage Blade nuke. I don't like any of these matchups. So if we lose our Rage Blade battle, then just don't be surprised. Where was it? What? I think it was the one right below this. Yeah. Okay, so now what I'm gonna run here. Oh man, there's construction where I am, so I think you guys can probably hear that, but I hope you can't. So here I've got my two Rage Blade monsters, and then my other leader skill monster. So hopefully this will work out where, okay, it looks like everything but the Michelle is gonna outspeed me. Oh well, got rid of the invincibility there, whatever. Amputation magic. See, now that did a ton of damage. Like, there is no denying that did a buttload of damage. Now, let's see if we can. We did get a kill, so when Alicia gets a kill, she gets to move again. So, wow, that is definitely a violent Michelle. And let's see. Yeah, see, look at that. That did 9k damage with a bunch of plus 12 runes. 9k damage apiece. That's ridiculous. And that just did. Actually, I don't think that did that much. I thought I saw 11k, but I don't think I did see 11k. See, so that's how a Rage Blade nuke team works. You just want to take things out as fast as possible. So, if you guys have any other questions about Rage Blade, if you guys want to ask me if anything should run it, or anything other than that, just go ahead and ask me in the comments. I am definitely free to answer those. In my next video, I will probably be doing Trial of Ascension Floor 100, um, just because I haven't done it on this boss yet. I I don't think I got that. Shoot. um, but yeah, just because this is the original boss of Trial of Ascension, and I haven't done that one. I've only done Lilith on screen, so that's probably going to be my next Summoner's War video. And with that, I'm going to end this video off. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and I will see you guys next time.